Salcho. Straight ahead inside the 10. Keeping his balance. Getting help from his friends. Finding his way to the goal line and in. Fresh, re-energized Florida State team knocking off number 8 Alabama. The first big field stormer of the year is underway. How good is it to have ball back,
folks? Gets into the face and then spits.
Oh, right. Just spit on him. Dramatic up for the win, and there it is. 18-16 the final score, and the Bulls explode off the bench.
Haynes King following his running back. From 55. The snap is off. It is on the way. It's got the distance.
Pressure. Mateer escapes and slings it downfield into traffic. Catch made. Drives it. It's fading. And he missed it. What? McCray driving.
Watch right there. That's a touchdown. Yeah, that's a win.
Ball broke the plane.
On 2nd and 5, they keep it on the ground. Here's Lassiter, and there he goes. Lassiter takes it to the painted end zone.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into College Football Backers. I think we're gonna call this late night after dark. What are we naming this, Steve?
I think it's called the Pigskin Saturday Night Pigskin preview or post view, something
Playback.
like that.
Playback.
Yeah,
I
you
see
got
it now. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier, but yes, the Saturday Night College Pigskin Playback. Welcome in. We've got the 5 of us here going to run through a lot of the biggest games of the day, and we'll probably talk about some of the games that are still going on now because we still got some stuff on the West Coast wrapping up. But we want to start with Notre Dame. Dominic, I'm going to have you start us off with what you saw in this one between A&M and ND.
It was a back and forth, and it would be, but with Carr and Notre Dame and his second start and his first start at home came down to a missed extra point and a defense that couldn't stop Texas A&M at the end of the game.
You clink one off the uprights like that, damn, and that's how you lose a game. Like that, it hurts, man. Yeah. Marcus Freeman kind of did this last year too. Kind of started off slow and then all of a sudden took control. He doesn't have much chance anymore. He's got to win out.
The holding on
have to have a chance, yeah.
And you can't have a holding penalty when you're 4th and 16 to give him an automatic first down with under a minute left.
Yeah,
that was huge.
Like that killed them.
Or catch a snap. Catch a snap.
Yeah, that killed them too. One job. You have one job. You don't even get dirty during the game. Just catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So is Texas A&M for real now? I mean, we had a couple years. We always hear that they're going to be like the next big SEC team to come out of there. What is this helping solidify Texas A&M as a true contender at some point here, or is it a little too early to say that?
I think it didn't hurt them. I mean, this is Notre Dame. It's going on the road, man. It's a huge environment. It's a big win, no matter what you say. Obviously, they still got to open up the SEC schedules, and that ain't easy. But it's better than what they usually start. Usually they run into one of these teams, like a Notre Dame, some kind of helmet sticker game, and it doesn't go their way, and it's over pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think like AJ said, they've got to look at the SEC play now, but it's a good signature win early in the season.
And it's a big win for the SEC too, man. Mm-hmm. Wow. It was a little bit of a struggle to start the season, and now the SEC's kind of turning on strong.
Top 10 win. You got to give it to A&M, considering I think they lost last year to them, so payback. And now you start SEC play. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but if it's anything Texas,
They've got a ranked Auburn team up next before they play Mississippi State and Florida. So not the toughest. Auburn's not going to be easy, but Mississippi State, Florida don't look like the powerhouses of old. At least in Florida's case, Mississippi State. I don't know if I ever really called them a powerhouse.
Florida might be the reason why you get rid of preseason rankings.
True, it's a good point.
Every year.
Like, I think it's time we do away with those. 5 interceptions today? Not good for DJ.
No, not good at all.
He had 5 interceptions?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why do all these good games, all this great stuff have to happen when the Buckeyes are playing, man? That sucks. I would love to see 5 interceptions. I'm going to have to go back and watch that game tonight.
Well, why don't you get a noon start and then you can watch the late night games?
Hey,
shut
your damn mouth.
Hey, maybe if they stop complaining about these noon starts, you could watch the late night games.
That's why Ohio State started out so slow, because they don't know how to play at night. They never do.
Wasn't it Steve the one that told us to be nice and he's the first one attacking somebody? What's that all about?
Yes.
I wasn't attacking anyone. Dude, he came after me with that noon shit. Yeah, get out of here. Take that damn hat off. Yeah, one good game against Central Michigan, and then you think you're gonna puff your chest out and pretend like Michigan.
I'm not puffing. I didn't count anything today. Today was just a nice dress rehearsal.
I can see it in your eyes. You're so happy.
Stop looking into my eyes. I know they're beautiful, but come on now.
Oh man!
All right, what team we want to get? We got to get into Miami, I think. Since Miami beat Notre Dame, I think we got to get into that Miami game because they're for real, dude. Mm-hmm. They are for real. I mean, knocking off.
Let's be honest here. It's the ACC is down to Florida State and Miami,
and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, let's not forget about old GT.
Yeah, you got to give Georgia Tech credit for today's
Georgia Tech's going to be the next one we're going to talk about. But South Florida, man, I was hoping they would give it more of a game so we could keep them ranked. But do they fall out? Because, Florida's got another loss. Pretty soon, Florida's going to have so many losses they're not going to know what to do with.
Yeah.
I mean, all they're doing is playing ranked team after ranked team after ranked team and even losing to teams that weren't ranked.
Yeah. I think the hard part is
Miami next, too.
Ooh. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Dude, their schedule is atrocious. What the hell? Like, that coach needs to fire whoever their athletic director is. Like, he needs to be like, you know what, you're fired. I know you're my boss, but you're fired.
It was working out for him till today. You guys knew the wheels were coming off at some point, and it came off in Miami. That's where.
I mean, he was lucky to get through last year.
Yeah.
Last year, but
was tough last year.
He turned it around at the end where he had a couple of those big wins, but it's not looking good this year.
And how do we go from talking about Miami and USF to talking about Florida?
Because they were just on Miami.
If you talk about any state of Florida team, I think they all kind of intertwine.
Blend. We got a little blend going on.
Because I think, don't they all play each other? They all play each other, right?
Yeah, this year
for the most part, yeah.
Destiny's Destiny's a Southern Miss Golden Eagle fan, and my co-host TJ played at App State, so she's asking where he's at.
where he's at. Give us a little Sunbelt rundown then. What we got going on from the Sunbelt?
The quick Sunbelt rundown is down year across the board, not very good. Our best team, as it looked in Texas State, is currently getting beat 20-3. I've got my Texas State colors on, which happen to be Arizona State colors pretty much at the same time. And our last undefeated team, because App State coming in was 2-0, got beat by Southern Miss. That's why the Southern Miss fans are showing up on the comments so much right now. And Texas State looks like they'll be gone from the undefeateds here shortly. It's not even quite halftime and it's not over, but Texas State's offense can't really move the ball as much. We had one really respectable showing. Arkansas State went. They didn't go on the road, actually. They hosted Iowa State, a pretty good Iowa State team, and they had them, in a close battle up until late in the fourth quarter. So some questionable calls if you ask Arkansas State fans what they saw, but the rest of it today on the field, besides some teams that should have won, was pretty ugly against anybody who, was ranked. So that's about wraps it up for the Sun Belt, unfortunately. Definitely a down year compared to what we've had recently.
We're waiting for our own TJ to talk about Tennessee, so let's skip that and go right.
Let's get that. We can go a little bit more on this Miami game. Look at Beck, man. I think everybody kind of questioned Beck at Georgia, and I don't think you can really question him now, man. Like they're like saying he was the problem. I'm not saying Georgia's not in good hands still, but Beck definitely wasn't an issue, man. He's carrying Miami. Mark Fletcher, he was kind of a breakout freshman last year, and look at his sophomore performance in this game. Like he had 120 yards. Like Miami might be back. Let's not say it too loud.
And you get CJ Daniels, who's number one receiver for Beck now too.
Like Beck went 23 for 28 for 340 today.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like that's pretty damn near perfect.
Yeah, 340 yards on top of it, 3 TDs. Had a couple.
The only blemish was like 2 interceptions, and I don't think they were really all his fault either.
No, Miami definitely spent some money in the offseason. It looks like it's starting to pay off.
They always spend money in the offseason. It finally hit,
I mean, with Cristobal there, they had that offensive line that they've been building. He builds the trenches, and that's one thing he kind of did for Oregon before he left Oregon and went back to Miami. It's why Dan Lanning was able to build on that foundation because it was set for physical nature. So he's getting that Miami team back to that physical nature, giving Beck a little bit of time to throw the ball. They have the speedsters, the wide receivers, the skill positions. They've always really had that. It was just a matter of building that nastiness, getting them back to that U mentality. And I think they're getting close to being there, man. I agree with you. Don't say it too loud, but you gotta turn up the volume a little bit now.
We'll just see coaching decisions in a close game. Once they're in a close game, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if he knows how to take a knee or call a timeout when it's appropriate, we'll see.
Good point. It looks like they're about to get, besides Florida being next and what we expect to see happen there in that one, they then go on the road to Florida State and then play host to Louisville, who has had their moments. They haven't looked the sharpest all the way across the board, but an ACC favorite coming into the season. So it'll be interesting to see if Miami kind of get through that meet. I mean, they got Stanford, SMU, Syracuse after that, so not the toughest 3 games afterward, but some.
And I don't think Miami leaves the state of Florida until like November.
Yeah, they don't leave. They fly to SMU Halloween for a November 1st date. So
yeah, that's not a bad advantage to have to not leave your state for the first 2 months of college football.
Another odd bit for Miami's schedule is they have 8 home games.
But what other state can you stay in your state and play 2 top teams like that? There's not too many states.
3 top teams.
No.
Yeah. I mean, with the South Florida Bulls too. USF, man.
It's probably the only other state is Texas. That's about it on a good year. I mean, Texas would have to be a good year for them to even do it.
I mean, Texas Tech, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I guess you got that.
Looks like
Doug sometimes.
Doug is asking if Miami plays Georgia Tech. They do not. So that could be an interesting matchup for an ACC championship if we get that far. It's a little bit early, but I
think that October 4th matchup against Florida State's looming large for both those teams.
We're going to get a 90s classic. It's going to be so freaking great. What I'm worried about with Miami is they finish the season at Virginia Tech and at Pitt. Virginia Tech is not looking good. Pitt, I feel like you're still 50-50 on, but you've seen how they just ended last season on the road. They could not get a win on the road at all at the end of last season.
AJ, is Virginia Tech still playing football?
No, I don't think so. I think they hung it up. I think they left the lunch pail. They're not even checking it out anymore this year.
Did they just get relegated
to the Sun Belt?
They're in the Sun Belt now. How cool would that be if that actually happened?
That's who beat them. ODU spanked them today. I put that out there before this week started. I said, if you want a G5 over a Power 4 this week, this is the game. It's ODU versus Virginia Tech. But Virginia Tech hasn't looked good. I mean, you can go statistically. I think their quarterback had one touchdown. Their running backs had 0. Their wide receiver had 1. That was it. They scored nothing all season long. They've been terrible. And ODU has not been terrible. They've been pretty good moving the ball. Haven't maybe scored as much through the air, but they definitely ran all over them today. Joseph, their quarterback over there, is phenomenal. He's like the guy from remember the Titans, the Sunshine. He's from California. He's got the long hair, or he did have long hair. I think he might have cut it shorter now, but yeah, he's a threat, man. He ran all over him today. So yeah, Virginia Tech is hurting pretty bad right now.
What was the spread for that game? What was the spread?
It's a good question. I'd have to look that up because I don't remember. I mean, if you're smart, ODU should have been favored from the very beginning, but you know how that typically works. A Power 4 team's still going to be favored, but I don't know. Let me see if
I'll look it up while you guys talk.
Yeah, okay.
I have a worse here, UCLA or Virginia Tech? That's the question. Who's the bottom 25?
I would say probably Virginia Tech should be favored for that right now. They've just been. I
would think so.
Yeah, at least UCLA scored some points in some games. Virginia Tech just can't even put stuff on the board. So they're hurt pretty bad. Their fans are pissed off. They want their coach gone. A lot of them are thanking ODU for winning today to make it obvious that Brent Pry is going to be gone. We'll see if that happens anytime soon or if they let him go a couple more games to try and change things. You find us
minus 5.5, by the way.
Virginia Tech was favored by 5.5.
Should have been easy money. I didn't touch it, but should have been easy money. That was a pretty obvious win for ODU coming in, and it wasn't even close. I mean, it wasn't a one-score game here. So I don't know what Vegas was thinking on that one. I could have schooled them up on that one before this weekend started.
Weren't they supposed to call you and ask?
Yeah, usually they do.
Syndicate.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, syndicate guy,
on the horn, man. Get in here. Tell me how to set this on."
Yeah. Oh man, I would have at least had ODU favored. If you just give me a point or two, I probably would have just said that's good enough as long as you favor the team that's going to win. I would have saved him some money there, but oh well, maybe next time.
Every time.
I probably would have taken App State over Southern Miss too, and that one didn't turn out to me. That's why the Southern Miss fans are showing up in the comments. Too bad they didn't show up in the stands. Let me get a little jab back there. There's like half full stand for the first conference game of the year. So start showing up for your team.
Oh, it couldn't have been any worse than UCLA.
No, it's not worse than UCLA. It's still better.
Yeah, but UCLA
still watch that.
They never get fans.
No.
Deshaun Foster is definitely keeping his job.
You think so?
The whole promoter running back coach to head coach without any coordinator experience is a bad idea.
I called that from the get-go. I was like, "You're going to hire a running back coach?
Yeah.
Like, come, that's brave. That's brave."
It was
wasn't he the only one that? Yeah, wasn't he the one that like really fumbled over his opening speech at the Big Ten Media Day too?
Yeah, I was there for it.
Not only fumbled over it, he gave his rival a shout out. Like, we're from LA, right, along with USC.
You could tell he didn't want to be there. He didn't know what to say. He didn't even think about it until he got on the stage. And once he got on there, he was like, "Oh wait, I got to talk."
The light is too bright.
I was trying to build a program. I wasn't worried about speaking in front of people. And you just put me up here like that? Come on, man.
That program is looking real nice.
But they pulled it off last year too. They started off terrible last year. Did they lose to Hawaii or almost lose to Hawaii?
Yeah, they lost to
Hawaii to start.
They lost a few bad games to start the season. Then they started looking half decent, and then I think they ended with a few bad losses.
Yeah, they looked like they weren't going to win one, and then all of a sudden they ripped off like 5 in a row or something. I can't remember exactly. They beat some teams, but so they're going to have to do it again this year because 0-3.
But do they have it in Nico to like right the ship?
Nope.
Damn, how bad was that?
How much does Nico wish he stayed at Tennessee now?
Yeah. Yep. And how?
At least $3 million worth he wishes he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like, what the hell? Like, you You force yourself out of a school like that and then go to that shit show with, like, is a running back coach going to develop you as a quarterback?
Well, you also have to have talent around. You go to a team that has at least
sure.
some talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were the only ones who would take him.
You knew it was going to be, well, yeah. Would any of the big programs want to take him after what happened at Tennessee?
Not at all. Gotcha.
Yeah. It was ugly. I'll tell you that. It was ugly.
So, is Clemson dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they for a team that returned that much experience, they don't look the part.
No.
Maybe Georgia Tech is really good.
But at what point do you call Dabo into question?
Dabo has the best damn unrated team in the nation.
I mean, yeah, they don't control their destiny anymore. They don't play Miami. They already got beat by Georgia Tech, so like they're already behind the curve. They don't even control their own destiny. That's not like they can still have ACC and they can still win the ACC, sneak in, maybe get better down the road. Like they're going to need some help just to make it into the playoffs. I would assume.
You know what? If you beat some like SEC school in the non-conference, like LSU or something, then you have a chance. Oh wait,
they're what? They're 1-2.
They already did that. They already lost to them.
And then 0-1 in conference already too. And then they don't play Miami, so they can't get them ahead of Miami without Miami losing. And then Georgia Tech's already going to be a game ahead of them, even if Georgia Tech loses a game in the ACC.
So they have to win out, and Georgia Tech has to lose twice.
They'd have to win out, and they still would need help. Yeah.
Yep.
What's Georgia Tech's schedule like in the ACC? That's what we need to know.
Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Duke, Syracuse, NC State, Boston College, Pitt.
Dude, they got an easy ride through the ACC.
Oh, my goodness. I think Clemson's out.
Book them in the championship game now.
Yeah, Clemson's dead.
Dude,
does this put Dabo on the hot seat?
Legitimately, no. I don't think he.
No, I think he's had too much success that even
He'll never be fired. He'll never be fired.
But Clemson has never even sniffed success before Dabo. I mean, they had one national title. I think it was 1980.
Okay, but when was his last successful season?
I don't think it matters. It's Clemson, dude.
They were in the playoffs last year, so you can't say it wasn't.
Yeah,
but 12 teams.
And they won the ACC last year, so it wasn't like they were just some bottom dweller the last few years. Obviously, they got some issues. He can't seem to figure it out, but you're not getting rid of that guy.
You can't figure out to go to the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Hey, he got 4 guys out of the transfer portal this year.
Mm-hmm.
4?
He's playing better on defense than their other defensive linemen. So
it's not even that, man. It's down to coaching. I think it's coaching hires. There's some other things going on because they came back with the most experienced roster. Like they shouldn't have had to hit the portal this year. They should be a dynamite team, and they got some coaching issues.
No, he had 2 generational quarterbacks and just got lucky as hell. And all of a sudden, he doesn't have one, and he's like, "What the hell do I do?"
And a freaking banger DC that's out in Oklahoma now that's starting to figure out ball as a head coach too. So like he's had some talent around him. I think he's failed to replace it. This is the hardest thing about coaches, right? Well, that's what makes Nick Saban the best there ever was. Is whenever he lost a great coach, he hired another great coach or another great coordinator. And you can see it at Dabo. You can see it in other coaches. Man, it's just hard to go find those guys when they.
Dabo hadn't had that chance to fail either because he had so many coordinators stick around for so long. That he hasn't had that, like, oh, shit, I can't make this hire because if I make a bad hire, the world is over. There's no more sprinting down that hill. I'm going to start walking down or maybe stumbling down.
Yeah, I think this is really – it'll be interesting to see if coaches have shorter or longer leashes in the long game of this new era of college football. Because I feel like you used to give like 3-4 years. I feel like you have to almost give more than that to really know, but you also have to have some success to be able to stick around that long. And it'll be interesting to see if that's kind of that Dabo swing there is like you said, is how long does it take to be bad? Like you can have a bad season every once in a while if you've got his resume, but how many of them can you have before you're gone?
That's an actually what you brought up there is a really good point because the world has changed with the transfer portal. If you get rid of a coach, you're blowing up the program, completely blowing up the program and starting over. So it has to be terrible.
But if you get the right coach to replace him, you can build the team pretty fast.
Absolutely, out of the portal. But you're losing every recruit you have because they're like, all right, I can jump in the portal right now.
Especially if you have the resources like some of these schools, you could build a team pretty fast at Clemson. And depending on the coach you hire, you could probably keep a lot of them.
Who's gone first, Dabo or Gundy?
Gundy.
No,
Gundy.
Really. That's a good
Both legends at their schools. Obviously, Gundy doesn't have quite the heights that Dabo has had, but
but we'd have to look at the contracts first too, because
I think Dabo has enough
goodwill,
and he's had enough success at Clemson where even a stumble like this year could be dependent on how they finish. Because I mean, their only ranked opponents left are Florida State and South Carolina. So
he's not getting fired. It's a winnable game.
Yeah, their ranked opponents might only be Florida State after this week.
Yeah, I think South Carolina is gone after that. That one. But we'll see if they get back in there.
Where's Andrew Anderson when we need him? He needs to come on here and tell us about his Cox.
Go Cox! They got destroyed today by Vanderbilt.
I don't want to hear about South Carolina again, man. I swear every year it's like ESPN, somebody is like, watch out for SC this year. SC's going to be a dark horse. SC this. And I know Vandy's good. I know Vandy ain't who Vandy usually is, and it's a little bit unfair comparison, but still, that's at home, and it's Vandy at your house. That's not still a top level roster. They knocked
Sellers out of the
game.
game
Starting
too.
Quarterback, I think, in the second quarter to illegal hit, but still, you got to have a better showing than what you showed today.
Well,
good point. Gotta be better than that. Are we going to jump over to the Tennessee Georgia game? Are we going to still try and wait and see if TJ joins?
He's not joining. Let's do it.
All right.
Boom.
Yeah. All right. I don't know off the top of my head who all watched this one. I tell you, I watched almost all of this one, so I've got some thoughts on it. But maybe somebody. Yeah, Dom,
I think everyone watched this one.
Talk about a streaky game. I mean, like Aguilar came out lighting the world on fire. Went 14 for 14 for 200 and something yards in the first quarter and a half.
Didn't he miss his next? Went 2 for 6
he went
after that.
14 for 14 for 200 and some odd yards, and 2 touchdowns, and he ran for 1, and then he went 1 for 8 or 2 for 8 on his next 9 passes.
Yeah, with this game, I went from this might be Kirby's worst team to holy crap, they've worn down Tennessee. Georgia's about to run away with this. All of a sudden, Tennessee surges again. It was just a wild back and forth game. It was super fun to watch. Instant classic, obviously, when it goes into overtime. But, man, does Georgia really get lucky with some kickers who can't kick field goals?
Did you see? And before he kicks that field goal, the offensive lineman has a false start. That could have been the difference. Right? That one little thing could have been the difference in making that kick because he hits that first one in overtime, which obviously ends up not mattering much. But go ahead.
It was third down, wasn't it? Too? Didn't he? All right, I'm kicking this after that false start.
Yeah, it was third down, and he had enough. He said.
At least he caught the snap. At least they caught the snap. The holder got the snap, so at least that happened.
Yeah, but the laces were in. Damn.
Definitely a fun game to watch.
It was a good one.
It was. I was really impressed with Stockton, man. I actually didn't know what Georgia was rolling with this year, especially at quarterback. I feel as a whole, this roster's a little bit who are they? Who is Georgia? Looked like they kind of struggled last week. So when this gates came open and Tennessee started putting it on them pretty quick, I was like, oh, this is getting scary. Then, but Stockton, man, he hung in there, and then he started balling out himself, going for 304 yards, two touchdowns.
And then they started getting physical too, running the ball. There was a stretch there where I was like, all right, Georgia's taking over, man. They're gonna just keep pounding it down their throat. They wore them out, and then somehow Tennessee got back into it, man.
This game reminded me a lot of the Alabama-Georgia game last year, where Alabama got into this big lead. Georgia came back. They were going back and forth, except Alabama made the big play, whereas this year it was Georgia.
Where does Georgia jump up after that? Because, I mean, that's a huge win on the road. You might have struggled with a couple of teams, Austin Peay, and then you come back from that and you beat a team like Tennessee at their place. One of the hardest places to play. I think Josh Pate said it was the hardest place in the nation to play.
What was Georgia ranked?
Win of the season.
6.
I'm not sure.
Can you bump them above Miami?
Do you bump them above Miami or an LSU team? You know,
And Florida State.
LSU did.
No, they're above Florida State right now.
LSU didn't look good at all today.
And LSU's win took a hit. The win that they claimed going to South Carolina and winning took a hit today too. So you got to think about that. I still think this is the biggest win as far as like the roster talent that you're playing and being in the environment you're playing it in. It's probably the best win of the season for any team.
And let's be honest, the Clemson win takes a big hit too. Week 1.
Yep.
Yeah, like how good does that one look now?
That kick Georgia Tech had to win the game too was their longest in school history.
Dude, we're gonna have to really think about this, how we rank teams this week. There's
still a lot of data collection, man. It's still a lot of data collection.
I mean, but you're starting to get into the point where, all right, this team's not really as good as we thought they were.
Really
The problem is the preseason poll throws everybody off because you're thinking these teams are good. And then you look at them, you're like, this doesn't pass the eye test.
Yeah, it's got to be adjusted significantly, especially, as the weeks go down, you adjust a little bit less. But when you get a big win, it needs to be violent, a violent adjustment.
Yeah, I think Josh Pate says it best. Like if you're going to have an AP poll, like you have to be willing to move from where your initial ranking was. When you have
for sure
something go down, then you have to be able to come off of that team. Like there's not just because they won and they feel undefeated, they get to stay where they're at. Like that's
exactly
that's how it works.
No, that's why Penn State needs to keep coming down because Penn State's played no one yet. And if they do go ahead and beat Oregon at home, you get that bump back up. But until you've done it, nothing. Like we can't reward these teams for playing.
They need to do like they do with the playoff. They need to give it a month and then start.
I think that's never going to happen.
I know it's never going to happen, but that's what should happen. Collect some data points, figure out who these teams actually are.
I think you should have a poll at the beginning. Like you should have a poll at the beginning. Like you should know. You should have knew that Clemson should have been a good team this year. Now they failed. You come off of that ranking and you drop them. I mean, it is what it is. Like it's okay. We should be smart enough at football to kind of figure out who's coming back with some players, who's coming back with some dogs, who was in the portal, who's been recruiting the last 4 years, to have an idea where these people are starting. The problem is you stay there. You stay there on that team, and some team who loses 2 games stays in the top 25 somehow, and you're just like, how or why?
Well, also,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
If you go and look at the schedules, especially on ESPN, they show the team that you beat where they were ranked when you beat them. So you beat a number 1 team or Clemson. What were they ranked? 3, 4? I can't remember to start the season. 4. You beat a team that was ranked 4. It looks like you just had a top 4 win when you go back and look at their schedule. That needs to be adjusted too. Like you don't get credit for a ranked win when they're not ranked anymore. It has to be the current ranking system.
There's an asterisk to that. I will say if there's an injury, like a significant injury to like a key player on a team, like if someone loses a quarterback, you beat them when they were top 5 with their
but that's where you have that's where you have the conversation. That's where you can like be more subjective. It doesn't have to be number. Like,
well, you don't have to
have a little bit of sense.
You don't have to
if you
be
come down to the end of the year, and
if you're a female voter for the AP in California, you just put teams wherever the hell you want, and it don't matter in the end, right? Is that what she said? That was her quote. It doesn't matter. It'll all work itself out. No, the problem is the ones you guys are talking about us running into. You're vastly outweighing one team over another because of where they started the year. So that's what you got to fix. And like you said, that needs to take movement. And like you guys are saying, there's so many people afraid. Oh, well, someone's going to give me a hard time because I dropped some 5 spots after a win. But you're exactly right, Steve. Penn State has played absolutely no one as of yet. So why are we
have no idea.
No.
And you have no idea. If you haven't been tested, there's zero.
How much of it do you think
have.
is like almost media bias for, like, not necessarily the school brand, but like the school brand or the conference brand?
That definitely plays a
So,
part. There's
always
always going to
there.
be some of that bias. And I think other than that, it's just like an old school mentality. Like if you're number one, let's say Ohio State didn't open it up in the second half, and they completely struggled against Ohio the whole game, and you won't drop them because they didn't lose. Like you have that old mentality. As long as you keep winning, you don't lose your rank. Which I think when it's early in the AP, like you need to shuffle people around if needed.
I might even drop them just for struggling, because it's that early in the season. There's opportunities to get back there. Like it doesn't really matter right now.
No, it's just a talking point.
Yeah, but you need to have that variability.
The problem is the people who rank a lot of these teams don't watch half these games.
Nope.
Yeah, Southern California. I don't care what happens in Florida. I don't even know it exists.
It's impossible, man. Like I consume a lot of college football, like pretty much every day. I'm consuming some kind of football content, and I still can't get a great idea of what every team looks like or what every team has, even if it's only the top 25 you're looking at. But if you're considering the top 25, you probably got to expand that to another 30 teams, and that is a lot of hours of football that one person got to consume to make an AP poll accurate as they can, and it's still subjective.
Yeah, I think one good point that someone had is a lot of these AP voters are actually on the beat or covering one school specifically, and they are at that field for 5, 6, 7 hours a day. There's no way they're doing anything but looking at scores, which obviously has a good bearing on what you need to know, but it doesn't tell you the whole story. As you said, AJ, if somebody's star quarterback gets knocked out and all they do is go and look at the score and go, well, they got beat by 20 points. Well, that doesn't tell you the story. It'd been different possibly if the star quarterback didn't get knocked out in the second quarter. But now you're going off the scoreboard instead of, what actually happened on the field.
The other point that has been brought up is why don't they give them time to make a good decision? It doesn't have to be out on Sunday. Yes, all of us want to see it on Sunday because, that's the world we live in. It needs to be out on Tuesday or Wednesday. So you get a time to go check some of that stuff. There's not time. If you are at a game like that and it is a night game, you're there till 2 a.m.
I know people will say in the playoffs the AP poll doesn't matter. You think it doesn't carry weight to what those people are talking about inside there when they're making playoff decision on who's that last 2 or 3 teams getting in? Where they start is definitely in someone's mind. And I don't care how much you try to distance yourself from it. You're using it as a metric every weekend in college football to say this number team is playing this number team, and that carries weight into the playoffs. It might not be 100% influential, but it plays its part.
Especially like what Steve said. Like if for Clemson, they were the number 4 team in the country week 1. If you're going to hold that as a metric that they beat the number 4 team in the country, even though the eye test is saying they should never have been the number 4 team in the country. Of course, they're going to have an advantage. Yeah, you beat a bad team, but they were just overranked. And that does play on the playoff committee 100%. Oh, this team has 4 top 10 wins. But when the season ends, none of these teams end up being ranked.
Yeah, and you got to be careful not to punish a team who does lose. Like, let's say Clemson was actually good. They didn't lose at Georgia Tech today. They actually rolled after they got beat. You got to be careful dropping these. Or we're going to lose all these big games that I don't think there's enough of in college football. Like these first 3 weeks, man. There's a lot of yawners out there. We could have some real ball going.
But this is all going to change because the College Football Playoff Committee is we're going to take schedule into account. How much they do that, I need to see it this season because it's going to determine the schedules for the future. And what we all want to see is good ball. We want to see these big matchups. We want to see Georgia going to Tennessee. Obviously, we don't have to worry about that in the normal circumstance because they're in conference. But you want to see Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Let's be honest.
See these matchups, Texas and Ohio State. You want to see Alabama and Wisconsin.
The whole schedule argument's just going to come down to for a team like Indiana or somewhere like that if they're sitting on the bubble. If it's Penn State, no one's saying anything. They didn't play anybody the first 3 weeks. They don't care because it's Penn State and they put asses in the seats. that whole strength thing is so that if it's an Alabama versus, let's say, an Iowa, then they can use it to get Alabama in.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's Michigan sitting at 12, or if it's Penn State, or if it's Georgia, or one of those big teams, you're never going to hear about that. Oh, they played no one in the preseason or in the first 3 games.
I don't know. I think that kind of went away against Alabama last year. They actually held out, and I think you could have said what you said, but it actually didn't hold true last year.
Yeah, but if they didn't have 3 losses, that was the problem. They had 3 losses, not 2. If they had 2 losses,
that's the situation
they
we're
would have
going
got
to
in.
get into, though.
They would have got in over a 1-loss Indiana.
You're going to have some
100%.
3-loss teams.
If Alabama had 2 losses, they were getting in over a 1-loss Indiana.
Yeah, but that was different. If you didn't have 2 bad losses on your schedule, which now we got to talk about Vanderbilt.
Finally going to make it there. We did kind of go on a run there for a minute.
Yeah.
We
went on.
They did look good, man. Pavia
is the man.
Damn.
Yeah,
they
were consistent. They scored all the way across the board here in this game.
I think they got a tough schedule coming up, though. So we're going to find out exactly who they are.
What do they have as far as the schedule coming up?
Do you have the schedule, Dom?
No, give me 1 second.
I'm getting there.
Which one?
There.
How many people are Googling this all at one time?
So they got a couple easy games, and then they're at Alabama. They got LSU at home, Missouri at home, at Texas, Auburn at home, Kentucky, and then at Tennessee. They got a murderous row coming. They got 2 weeks, and then it's on.
So we're going to find out exactly how good this team is.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, there's not going to be any debate after this schedule.
Are they the best team in the state of Tennessee?
Who wants to go on at Alabama, LSU, Missouri, at Texas, Auburn? Who wants to go on that run?
If they finish with 2 losses, they deserve to get in with that schedule.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think Auburn's that good?
I don't know. That's still a talented team. It's a still top end roster.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's, no offense to the Big Ten, it's not like it's Purdue. Like, we want to make fun of the Big Ten for a little bit. Let's have Big Ten opening weekend. Let's have USC freaking play Purdue, and let's have Oregon play Northwestern. What a hell of a Big Ten opening for the freaking year. Holy shit.
Hey, Purdue's rebuilding. Leave Purdue alone.
Yeah.
Poor Boilermakers.
They're going to be all right.
That's why we need some centralized scheduling of the Big Ten. Good Lord. You think you'd want to open the Big Ten with some bang, maybe throw some top-end teams, maybe throw that Penn State-Oregon matchup maybe a week earlier or something.
Yeah.
They had a nice warm-up with Northwestern in a fake stadium.
That's the opening of Big Ten football, was that. Wow.
Hey, man, at least we had UCLA showing us how to lose to New Mexico.
That's incredible. Did you see the tweet about the Big Sky? Did you see that?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so someone said now they should be, by losing this game, they should be relegated to the Big Sky. The Big Sky Conference Twitter account said, yeah, no thanks.
Oh, man.
Oh.
If there is a little brother that ever needs to thank Big Brother for bringing them along to a football game they don't belong in, that's UCLA and USC.
Yep. That's 100% true. Man, that's just insane. But I touch on Auburn. You guys brought them up. They played a close game against South Alabama. That was a first time ever matchup. Can you believe that? South Alabama and Auburn. What was that?
I said, what is this, an Epstein file? You want to touch on Auburn?
Oh, man. Yeah, but I don't know. Before this week, I'd say that they were looking pretty legit. I mean, they went on the road and beat Baylor in week 1 pretty convincingly. They had a not big opponent in week 2. South Alabama, gave Tulane a test last week, only lost by 2. Tulane destroyed Duke today. So, I mean, if you do some of that type of kind of crappy math, early part in the season, but it at least gives you something to go off of. I think Auburn might be, I don't know about top of the SEC type.
No,
they got a tough stretch coming up.
But I think they are, they're a talented team. They're better than the last 2-3 years of Auburn football, I think.
Mm-hmm. We'll find out how real or not they are next week when they play Oklahoma. That's going to be
that's true.
They go Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Georgia, and Missouri for the next month.
That's good. That's a solid month of football.
There you go.
That's a tough month of games.
Dude,
no thanks.
Deshaun Foster is making news in every way you don't want to. Really good at grabbing headlines. He needs to make a T-shirt about this too. We're in LA, not in the Big Sky Conference. Because they don't want
UCLA in LA. That was the wildest thing I've ever heard.
You should have been there. It was crazy. Everybody went quiet.
Oh man, I wish that would have been awesome to be there.
Oh no, it was the most awkward thing where everybody was looking at each other like, "Is he done talking?" Because everybody went up for I think 10 minutes. He was there for literally 45 seconds. Yeah, we play in LA. If you didn't know, okay. And any questions? I'm out of here.
I think we're gonna have a good season. Any questions?
People were like, "Is he done? Where did he go?"
Did you see Deshaun Foster talk? No, never saw anything. Oh my gosh, that dude! Wow. Do you think he lasts?
That was the last time the Big Ten had a media day where it actually made sense instead of putting in Vegas, right?
That was awesome. I was there for Vegas. I thought it was a blast. I think they should rotate that in.
Yeah.
They're going to start rotating, I think, the Big Ten game there, so that's why they did it. I think the Big Ten game.
No, they actually had a conflict, and Indianapolis booked something already, so that was their last-ditch effort to get something.
Okay.
Every year they have done it in Indianapolis at the same exact time. In Indianapolis, they just booked something instead. They're like, you know what? Fuck you, Big Ten.
That's kind of wild. I think because they were still debating on and trying different places because they were looking to try to get out west a bit more and kind of move it around.
It makes sense.
Well, they talked about it, and they might have been getting after him because they did talk about championship games being other places. So maybe Indianapolis was like, all right, we're going to screw you.
Got them hurt feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing. You want to keep some of those West Coast schools happy that they don't have to travel all the way to the East Coast.
I think Vegas is a good idea for the fans too. What fan base in the Big Ten doesn't want to go to freaking Vegas in the wintertime? Come on now.
For sure. Yeah, and that stadium anywhere. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great, except it's in July.
You're talking about media days. He's talking about championship game.
But yeah, the media too. Who doesn't want to go to Vegas? Period. Either way, it's a win.
It'd be cool if they could.
Not my team.
It would be really cool if they could kind of last minute be switch between the two based on what team's going to be in. Because if you have two East Coast teams, you don't want them traveling all the way to Vegas. But if you have at least one West Coast team that's involved, which they probably always should with Oregon being as good as they're going to be for.
Well, the game. Once they start having these cities bid on games, it's just going to start moving around.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
True.
Whoever pays the most.
That's the next big revenue stream they're going to bring in, right? Is bidding on these games.
I actually like the idea of it moving around, but we should probably get back to football.
Yeah. Let's talk ball. Turns out there were games today. Let's talk about those.
What? No way.
Football. Actual football was played today.
Let's talk about that Indiana game. 73-0. Okay, moving on. Next game.
Hey, Indiana State gave it one hell of a game during the.
They tried.
Yeah. Yeah, but then what is it? Next week is Indiana, Illinois. I think 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be
that is next week. Yeah.
So we're gonna find out something about those two teams next week.
Hey, I'll give Illinois some credit, man. They actually played Duke. Duke was a tough team. They beat them on the road and beat them pretty handily on the road. So I think Illinois got a little something to them. We got to figure out what Indiana is.
They shut out Western Michigan today, 38-0 too. So I think they only what did they say? 89% of their production from last year came back.
Oh yeah,
they're
their entire
most,
offensive line
roster behind Clemson.
Yeah, I think it was 75% on both sides of the ball, at least.
Yeah, it was some crazy number I read. I was like,
And they had their entire offensive line come back. They had their second-year starting quarterback come back. Luke Altmaier is a beast. It's going to be fun to watch them. It's going to – and they're sold out for the first time. I can't remember what the stat was. The first time since like 83 or something like that, they sold out their tickets to the games.
How about this hitting them, though? Arkansas and Ole Miss, man. I think a lot of people had this circled as a kind of a game to watch, and it did not disappoint. Yeah. That was a solid game today. That second quarter was wild, man. You see how many points got put up in the second quarter?
Yeah, 24 and 21.
Yeah, 45 points in the second quarter between the two teams. Like that thing was, and then they come out and like don't really do a whole lot in the second half. But that second quarter was fireworks, baby.
They went from 45 points in the second quarter to 17 in the next two. They went from no defense to shut down defense. Crazy.
Yeah.
Is Arkansas getting slept on this year? I feel like there's not a whole lot of hype behind Arkansas, and man, they played good today. I'm just kind of curious, maybe somebody who has a little bit more knowledge with Arkansas.
I just don't think they're consistent enough to get any hype.
Yeah. I was paying attention to Arkansas a little bit because they just played Arkansas State last week, another first time ever matchup. They finally decided to play the in-state opponent there in Arkansas State at War Memorial Stadium there in Little Rock. Taylon Green, for those who don't know, quarterback for Arkansas, is legit. He is the real deal. 10 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions on the season. And I think if I remember right, watching one of those interceptions was like one of those weird bounce around type things. It wasn't really on him, more about the receiver fumbling around. But he's fun to watch. He's also their second leading rusher, and he's only not first by 3 yards. He's got 192 yards on the season so far. Their top rusher has 195. So I think he's a pretty complete player and could keep them, going in the SEC.
This wasn't a trap game for Ole Miss. Like this was Ole Miss home. Like Arkansas was on the road for this game and put up this kind of a showing too. It wasn't like Ole Miss looked them over, went into Arkansas. No, this was in Ole Miss's backyard, and they still came out to play.
Definitely a week of not a lot of defense in the SEC. Seems like a lot of high-scoring SEC scores.
Except for Florida and LSU, man. LSU shut Florida out in the second half, and Florida only gave up 7 points in the second half.
Back to
I think it's because DJ forgot what team he was playing for. He was throwing some nice balls to the LSU guys.
You just went colorblind for a while.
He was probably thinking about that portal a little too early. He was confused.
What's wrong with
Ole Miss
Texas?
just raced based on last year? Is Ole Miss just ranked based on last year? I mean,
they have to be. Didn't they lose a ton of people?
Yeah, I don't think that they are what they were.
He brought in 28 players in the portal too. He brought in a crazy number.
Well,
that could be a good point.
He's got, what did he have? The third or fourth highest scoring offense in the nation last year. And after the first 2 weeks, I think he was right there again. So, a 41-35 victory over Arkansas at this point now. I don't know where he'll stand, but I would think Lane's still got the offense working for him. So whether he's reloaded or kept the talent, I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but they can score with just about anybody, I'd say. It's just whether their defense can come through and keep them battling in the SEC. Looking at their schedule, they got a really possibly tough road when they face on the road at Georgia, on the road at Oklahoma, and then they have South Carolina, which we'll see if Sellers is, good and back to go. And South Carolina's rolling again.
They better not sleep on Tulane
next week.
Yeah, don't sleep on Tulane next week.
True.
They'll bite you.
Tulane
Can we
with
talk Nebraska?
LSU the week after.
Yeah, LSU.
Nebraska had a hell of a game this week.
What was the final score there?
Houston Christian Houston Christian.
You're over here like
59-7.
making fun of Penn State for playing nobody, and you bringing up this game.
I have never heard of Houston Christian.
I hear about them in baseball more than anything.
All right, at least they have like something.
Yeah. But
what is that? Is that a FCS school?
Yeah.
Yeah, Southland Conference.
I thought it was a high school.
Yeah, I mean that does sound like a Catholic school, like Catholic private high school.
Let's talk about Kansas State, man. You want to talk about teams to talk about that
doesn't sound
kind of like
Catholic.
Clemson? Like, how many people had Kansas State picked to be like a major player in the Big 12, and they're already like 1-3 on the season? Oh man!
What's that Oregon or what's that Utah score?
Well,
because I think you're talking
Utah won 31-6. Wyoming is always a solid team, man. So I think it's a solid showing. Wyoming always like is that team that just like you're like, we're playing Wyoming. All of a sudden, like you're in a fight. But it looked like it was a fight in the first half, but then Utah kind of opened up in the second.
K-State was favored.
So if K-State's out, it's what are we down to? What are we down to in the Big 12? It's Utah probably and Iowa State.
Arizona State's in it. Their loss is out of conference, so that one doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters in like the showing, but they went to Mississippi State last week and lost. So Arizona State's still talented, still in it.
And Houston, maybe.
Iowa State's still in
Iowa
it.
State.
Yeah, Houston, surprising.
Yeah, Houston. Definitely not Colorado.
Speaking of Houston,
Colorado can't even pick their own quarterback.
Houston Christian, you weren't familiar with. Up until 2022, they were known as Houston Baptist. I don't know if that changed your mind about hearing about them before.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, you were asking if
I have heard of Houston Baptist actually.
Season ticket holder here.
I fly in for every game.
Yeah. Big donor.
I actually was the reason they changed it from Baptist to Christian because, that's my style.
You told them to. Yeah.
Yeah. I want you non-denominational. Okay. I'm going to give you some money. Just make it happen.
That's how it works.
So
that's how it works.
Let's go this way. Archie Manning, I think, got a little bit of the Boo Birds today.
Yeah.
Is Texas gonna have to make a move here soon if they continue to look bad?
No, man. He's still young. He's still in a few starts. I know he's not young as far as how long he's been in college, but everybody needs to calm down, man. Like it's his first full year starting. He's gonna have some growing pains, just like most QBs did, just like your boy did last week against Oklahoma. That didn't turn out looking too well for him, even though I think he played solid. But like these guys got to find time to find their feet, man. And Texas fans are just Texas fans. They're like Ohio State fans. Make fun of my own. Like if things don't go their way instantly, they're starting to throw fits, and that's all you're seeing here. Watch them.
I got to give you guys I got to give you guys a public service announcement. Watch what you do in Gronk, because it just told me when I asked for the best headlines of college football this weekend, it said Iowa State coach Kirk Ferentz earned his 200th career win in a 24-16 victory over Arkansas State, making him the winningest coach in Big Ten history. The Cyclones, 3-0, continue their strong start. What?
That's very confusing.
Good job.
They just went back and forth in the same thing.
Yeah, good job, Gronk.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arch did have a bad day, though. He was 11-25, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Like, he had an awful day against a team he probably shouldn't have a bad day. In Mike's defense.
Yeah, like these are usually the games you pad your stats in.
Right.
Does that mean Ohio State's overranked?
It's possible. That's why I said there's still data to being collected. There's still a lot of data collection out there. Mm-hmm. We don't really know who Texas is. Even with Tennessee, even with Georgia beating Tennessee, Tennessee's biggest win is Syracuse. Syracuse is
when do we find out?
Like it's just you gotta let this. This is gonna be one of the years, man. Like 2007. Like there's gonna be a lot of chaos. You gotta let it play out. I don't know if we're gonna know who we got until it's 2 or 3 weeks away from championship weekend.
This season
when do we find out?
Feeling that it's going to be chaos throughout the whole season.
When do we find out what Texas has? Who do they play? When is their next big?
Oh, they're probably
they don't have a schedule.
I mean, they're
Oklahoma,
playing the
Red
SEC.
River,
They gotta have
October 11th.
Yeah, October 11th,
October
Red River.
Damn, they got a ways to go, man, before we find out.
I mean, they got Florida, but that ain't gonna tell us shit. You know, we have no idea what the hell is Florida. Poo-poo,
Texas's
water.
schedule, if I remember right, isn't that bad.
No, it's really not for the SEC. They got Oklahoma, they're at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, at Georgia, Arkansas, and then A&M at the end of the year. So there's still some solid ones in there, but as far as like what some people have in the SEC, yeah, that's a lot.
They must have that must have been a deal to join the SEC. Be like, you know what, Texas, if you come, we'll give Oklahoma a shitty ass schedule. We'll have to play everyone, and you don't have to play anyone.
Well, I think the problem with the SEC was this year, instead of coming up with new schedules, they just flipped it to a home and home almost. So if you look at last year, it's the exact same schedule they played.
Mm-hmm.
They just changed the home games.
Interesting.
Which to me doesn't make sense. You might as well just move it around so everybody plays everybody at some point.
Do we have any more games we want to hit?
Let's talk about that Ohio State game. What can we take out of the Ohio State game?
Yeah, Ohio State just started off a little slow. They do not have a goal line offense. It's pretty much non-existent to this point. They had to kick a couple field goals, which they should never have had to kick against Ohio. Pretty much the gist of it. Defense looks solid. Sang had his, come back down to earth game today, had 2 picks and wasn't phenomenal for the first time.
Yeah, like he still had
Bo Jackson.
He still had 347 yards. Come back to earth with 347 yards.
Yeah. It was just the red zone, man. The red zone offense and one big play on the defense.
It's like the Michigan game too. These kind of games you can't take nothing out of because they could have been trying things to see if they work, how they play out, different formations. Mm-hmm. Because it's like an exhibition game you're going to win.
It wasn't that much of an exhibition game though, because Ohio actually has a chance in beating you, as opposed to Grambling like last week. Ohio won the MAC last year. They also just beat a Power 4 team in West Virginia, and they took Rutgers to the limit. Lost by 3 points to Rutgers in week 1. So it's not like, yeah, I get it. It's Ohio. It's a MAC team, but it's not the bottom of the rung.
MAC they still have no chance to win. They should. You can't say they have a chance to win. They have a chance to compete, but they shouldn't have a chance to win.
They might keep it close.
They're a talented team. It's a hell of a step up from Grambling. There's no doubt about that. I think there is some problems though. Like if you're going to have when you go on the road in 2 weeks when you play at Washington and you're having red zone problems, that can bite you on you're taking that young team, that young quarterback on the road for the first time in a real like a sleeper hostile environment on a team that's got 22 game home winning streak. And you want to stall in the red zone, eventually that will bite you. And I think there's actually a lot to take away from that game. Now, they can grow from it. They can learn from it and improve. Or is this a weakness or Achilles heel of the Buckeyes?
They also learned that their third string running back is their best running back.
They did. They did learn a positive, too.
Freshman that came in.
The defense is still lights out.
NFL already.
As bad as the score looked at halftime, that defense had Ohio completely shut out. I mean, there was a turnover they got points on, and then as soon as the second half opened, they gave up one big play. But other than that, they held the offense under 100 yards at the half, and I think they only finished with 184 yards total. So the defense still played good. It was one of those weird games where the stats don't match the scoreboard. Mm-hmm. So like you said, there's probably not a lot to take there. But red zone issues are red zone issues, man. If you see teams with red zone issues, that usually plagues them all year round.
It was still 37-9.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you guys are off next week, right?
Yep. Bye week.
And then who do you get after that?
Washington. At Washington.
Mm-hmm. Well, Day 2 weeks to fix the problem. I would bet on Day to figure out how to fix the problem.
Yeah, what makes me feel comfortable with Washington is the strength of what Washington is going to go against the strength of what Ohio State's defense is. You shut down. I think if you can shut down Coleman like Washington, who are they?
Mm-hmm.
We had one game I think we talked about doing, but we haven't really touched on, which was Wisconsin and Alabama, right? We didn't go off on that one, right?
No, I don't think we touched that one at all. No.
Boom.
Okay.
Let's touch it.
Yeah. Touch all over it. What do we got? Who watched the most? Who watched the most?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch a damn thing of it. I watched the highlight. That was it.
I think I watched like the first quarter and a half, and I was like, well,
that's over.
Whatever small chance Wisconsin had, it was over when they walked out the tunnel. But
I flipped back and forth a little bit, but I was like, yeah, I can't watch this.
So I felt bad for Luke Fickell, man. Like, one, their schedule is pretty tough in the Big Ten. Then they get Alabama at a conference, and then they have been dealing. I don't think I've ever seen a coach lose his quarterback almost every year. They lose a starting running back. They lose a starting quarterback. Their offensive line gets banged up. Like they're in like week 3 and half their offensive line's already out for this game. It's like, man, Luke cannot catch a break on the injury front.
Yeah, he has had an injury bug like crazy.
And it didn't help trying to switch the program over to more passer-friendly offense. Because you're already going up against it at Wisconsin where they just want to see smash mouth football, right?
I mean, I agree with that to a point. I feel like you need to find some kind of different balance in what they had. There was a reason why they were falling apart in the first place. I mean, unless you want to be Iowa and just punt all the time, like you got to try some new shit.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. But at places like that, it's hard. You know what I mean? And then you don't get the results you want, and all of a sudden, everybody's like stacked up against you.
I think it could have been different, man. I think Luke Fickell has really been bit by the injury bug. Every year he's lost a starting quarterback. Every year he's lost a running back. And his offensive line has been plagued with injury since he's been there. I'm not saying he's going to beat Alabama if it doesn't. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying as far as like him competing in the Big Ten or him competing in some of these bigger games, like I felt like, man, I feel so bad for him always losing.
So let's do this. What team makes the biggest jump in the rankings this week?
Ooh.
Well, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Georgia Tech, but I think Georgia could. But I think it could be Georgia Tech just because of how far out of it they weren't in it.
Yep. Yeah, I think Georgia's already too high up. Like if it's just 5. So I would go with
gotta be Tech.
Yeah, because Georgia Tech's going to go from unranked to what? 13, 14?
I don't think they're going to push them that high just because Clemson's 1-2 now, but they might make
but I mean, if Clemson was 12 and they lost, Tennessee lost at 15, you know.
Tennessee
Florida
should not drop anywhere. I'm not, in my opinion, I don't even think they should drop a slot. I mean, you lost in overtime to.
Agreed, but I mean, you have like more play towards the bottom of the rankings as as teams lose and everything. So.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, I know Tennessee is going to drop. I just don't think they should. Just my opinion.
Yeah, as far as resume is concerned, I'd put Georgia at 1 after this weekend. Personally.
Yeah, I think there's a good argument for that, for sure. I think it's the best win of the season of all teams, especially with Texas kind of sputtering. I don't think that Ohio State win is looking as big as that Tennessee win. And time will tell. Like I said, we need to be able to move back. Like, obviously, if Tennessee's not who we thought they were, then we can move Georgia back if we need to. But right now, that looks like the best win in college football.
Yeah,
best win of the season.
That only moves them up 5 spots. That probably takes them out of the most movement. But yeah, I mean that's just one that comes to mind, like you said, battle tested. Reward that. You're not harming anybody else. You're just saying, hey, this one was better than what you've done so far. So you come right back down next week if you don't look good. But
yeah, I think your top 3 could be any mix of Georgia, Ohio State, and Miami, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think Georgia should be 1.
I don't understand why Florida State's not getting as much credit.
I think they should get some love, but let's let that Miami Florida State game go, and then we'll kind of make some moves on that one.
All right.
I still think there's questions about Alabama.
How far does Texas A&M move up? They were 16 and they beat number 8 Notre Dame. Like
they're going to move up. They're going to fight a little bit.
I mean, they'll be in the top 10.
I think you're going to see Alabama make a big jump too.
And then who falls the most? Does South Carolina fall the most?
Clemson
for sure.
Notre Dame.
The entire state of South Carolina is falling out of the top 25.
Yeah, Notre Dame's what, 0-2?
Notre Dame's 0-2. They're dropping out.
Yep.
And they're 8 right now. So
I bet they go down to like 20, 22.
They'll
or
put them
something.
at 23, 24, just
Yeah.
because they're Notre Dame. Now,
Yeah.
who do they play the rest of the year?
I don't
They
think
got
they
to
play
play
anyone.
Easy for them until I think they play.
I don't think they play anyone ranked until they get USC.
Yeah,
They
and
don't
that's
have
if
anybody
USC
ranked.
right? Yep.
What's the next? The next big game was supposed to be what? South Carolina.
No, that for Notre Dame or
Yeah.
the next big game is USC October 18th.
They got Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, North Carolina
Arkansas.
State, USC, Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford. Like it's an easy, almost easy sledding. I'm not going to say that any of those teams ain't tough, but as far as like what you open with to where you're heading, you put the
we just talked about
you put the best behind you, and you lost to both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need USC to keep winning.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think they're out because they're not in the conference either.
Nope.
I still think if they're a two-loss team, they
Dame.
could get in.
A 2-loss Notre Dame's getting in all day.
A 2-loss team that doesn't have a ranked win.
It depends on the environment. There's a chance. That's all I'm saying. There's a chance they're in it if they finish undefeated.
That committee's going to get together and be like,
thin ass ice, boy. This is early ice fishing season. They're on it.
that committee's going to get together, see Notre Dame sitting there and go, oh yeah, we're putting Notre Dame in with 2 losses.
Well, I don't think that'll be a problem. I don't see them getting through this schedule without another loss. I don't know if it'll be a big one or not, but they're losing at least one more game. I think they'll lose more than that, but I think it'll take care of itself.
You're talking about Notre Dame?
You think Notre Dame loses another game?
I think they either lose the USC or they lose the Arkansas. They're gonna lose one of those 2 games.
I could even see NC State.
I could see NC State too.
I don't see them losing any of those games. I mean,
are all of them at home?
No,
it's at Arkansas. That's why I worry about that one.
All right.
Road games are Boston College. That's a Boston. BC isn't it? Pitt just lost to West Virginia, and then they're at Stanford, and I don't even know if Stanford still is putting out a football team. I think they're somewhere on the bench with Virginia Tech somewhere.
They're competing for that Big Sky invite.
They're hanging out somewhere in LA with the UCLA team.
They're both UCLA and Stanford.
Is that where they're at?
Go back to the Big 12.
We're in California. Not even LA.
Or the Pac-12.
We don't know the city, just the state. Oh man.
Boys, I think we just wrapped up.
Yeah.
We're not doing a 2-hour show this week.
No.
Hey,
are we gonna update our playoff our national championship predictions every week?
I think we probably should. Yeah, let's go national championship predictions. Starting with you, AJ.
I'm gonna still stick with Oregon. They had a slow start too. We talked about Ohio State slow start. They stayed slow, but I'm still gonna stick with the Ducks.
Mikey.
Ohio State still. I think too much talent.
Defense. Dominic.
Which one?
Crusato.
We're just picking our one champ, not the matchup, right?
The one champ. If you want to throw in who you're going to match them up with, go ahead.
Well, I'll take the easy route. I'll just take the one for now. I like the resilience that I saw from Georgia today. I saw them go up, get down. I saw everything I kind of needed to see to say that they're probably the most complete team I've seen so far against probably the best competition. So I'll stay with Georgia.
Why are you going to tease us like that? Tell me who they're playing.
I'll go with AJ's pick and go Oregon.
That was my
I can see that matchup.
Ooh. All right, Ambrose.
I mean, I'll go with the homer pick and keep my FSU, but wouldn't it be a fun game if Carson led UM to the championship game against Georgia?
That would be
I also think it would be fun if it was Miami and Oregon too.
Damn it. That was my pick. That's where I was going.
Or even Oregon and Georgia. There's some, obviously, Dan and Kirby. That'd be a fun one too.
Oh yeah, there'd be some good storylines for a number of matchups. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Miami and Oregon for now. Like, nice. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to learn some more about these teams in the next coming weeks. But you almost got me on Georgia, you almost had me sold because that was a great win. I think the very least Georgia should be ranked number 2.
And I think the SEC is not looking as top heavy as it was. I think I think Alabama has a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think Texas is definitely
more
not
like
who
level than it has in
Texas
years
is gonna
past.
be.
Yeah, they look deep.
Yeah.
I think LSU and Georgia. I think so far the two that you got to look at for the SEC who's coming out of there that looks like they're ballers.
All right, well, good show, guys. Mike, how many losses does Michigan have this year?
I don't know. I'll tell you after next week. See if they actually let the quarterback throw and run again.
Who they got next week?
Last week it was sink or ship. This week it's
at Nebraska, right?
I'll be honest. I didn't think they were going to let him do what he did this week.
What
let him, because they said they weren't going to let him do it, and then he came out and it was a completely different game plan.
Team now. This is Biff's team.
Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that Michigan actually told him he has to wear sleeves. Did you watch the game?
Did they really? Are you serious?
Yeah, he went to take off his jacket and they zoomed in on him, and the announcers were like, "Okay, he has sleeves on," and then they panned away. They were waiting for it. No, I think they had a good game.
Oh my!
It was nice. He's gonna make mistakes. He's 18 years old, but you could see the talent today.
Oh yeah.
I just give him the goddamn ball. I don't care what they do. If he throws 6 interceptions in a game, just let him develop. The kid can play.
You'd be okay with him throwing 6 interception against
this year?
Nebraska?
Yeah. As long as he develops the way he's developing.
Oh, you're talking about the year. 6 interceptions on the year.
No, one game. I don't care. I don't care if they win or lose this year.
I don't think it's time to do that yet, man. You're still playing the Big Ten. You lost to Oklahoma out of conference, man. The Big Ten's still up for grabs like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not talk crazy.
No, I never said 6. I said 6 interceptions in one game. I would be okay with that. If they lose 4 games, I'm okay this year with that. Just let him develop. Let him make his freshman mistakes.
Okay,
and let him
Steve, you need to clip that, and then when it happens, we need to play it back.
Don't worry.
You can play it back.
You said it was okay.
Say the same thing.
It was at
the end of the year.
1:15, 1:16 mark in the show today. So duly noted.
There we go.
Hey, you can stamp it just like I told you and AJ nothing was going to happen in Michigan, and you were supposed to stamp it, but I never got that one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, when that letter got, I know you forgot. All of a sudden you have amnesia.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. Why are we talking about offseason again? You're going to lose 4 games this year.
All right. Early look at next week, man. What games are y'all looking at early for next week? Which ones stand out to you?
Oregon, Penn State.
Is that next week?
That's huge.
That's a big one. I got a sleeper: Texas Tech and Utah for the Big 12.
Ooh.
Who's at noon in the Big Ten? Because I know Michigan, Nebraska's at 3:30. Yeah, Oregon, Penn State at 8.
Auburn, Oklahoma, 3:30.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
That'd be a good one too.
Texas Tech, Utah.
Illinois, Indiana, man. There's another.
Oh yeah, Illinois, Indiana. That's one I want to watch.
What time's that one at?
That is at. I'm on this island, so it tells me it's at 9:30 a.m. So night game.
Oh man. So Oregon and Penn State's going to be on at the same time. That sucks.
No, I made a mistake. It's Oregon State next week.
Oh, then who cares about that?
I thought there was another week. Yeah.
Indiana, Illinois, perfect.
Listen to this one: undefeated Tulane versus undefeated Ole Miss.
Ooh,
that'd be a good one too.
That's a nice sleeper. That's a great. Let's get some popcorn early, man. Get that popcorn started. You started the grill. Maybe
what time's that game?
Laptop going with the smoker. Make yourself some pancakes and some sausage. What you got? The brisket cooking? Hell yeah, that's a game right there.
3:30 kickoff on ESPN for that one.
Oh, that's a 3:30 one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be able to watch every game next week.
Yeah, next week's schedule's looking good, man. Texas Tech and Utah kicking off the morning. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Who's Maryland
next week? You got another good Big Ten headliner. Iowa at Rutgers.
Woo!
Hey, Iowa put up some points this week.
It's on Friday too.
Oh, is it?
Oh.
We get to really see how bad Clemson is. Syracuse at Clemson.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. I mean, it's going to be a bounce back game for both.
Texas Tech at Utah.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
I forgot about Texas Tech in the Big 12.
Yeah, seen it. So did I. And then I seen that one. But yeah, man, Michigan and Nebraska. We'll figure out what Nebraska is or isn't. That one's interesting because I think Nebraska's been that Cincinnati game still kind of holding decent win, but no one really knows who Nebraska is yet. That'll be a fun one. God, so many good games. Man, I love college football.
Did we talk about Auburn, Oklahoma?
How about at 11 p.m. Michigan State USC?
I'm still not a believer in Michigan State, so I'm not going to put that high up on my list. But I'll watch.
I just like Aiden. I think he's going to be a good quarterback for Michigan State.
And it's that late game too, man. It's the old Pac-12 after dark time slot. So.
Find that Florida Miami game interesting next week, but
yeah, definitely a good one.
South Carolina, Missouri. So South Carolina's going to have to bounce back after that too.
And do they do that without what's his name at quarterback?
Sellers.
Sellers.
Yeah.
Did he go out?
Yeah, he got knocked out of the game.
He got hit by was it an illegal hit, they said?
Yeah.
Did it look pretty bad? I'm going to have to look that one up too. All right, boys. We're gonna keep stringing this along all night.
Yeah, that's true.
Do a 2-hour show again. Let's get the hell out of here. This was good. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was a fun time, guys. Until next week, we'll see you guys later.
Peace out. God bless. Until